us. I was just telling someone earlier that a week ago, we thought this was going to work. We believed it was going to work. We hoped it was going to work. I can now say with confidence, this is working. This is going to be great. It's gone way beyond our expectations. We knew that there are a lot of details in putting teams and franchises together. You've heard, if you've seen anything I've said all week, that we understood we had to rush things and we had to prioritize the things that were critical from the things that we could put off till later. One thing that we knew was critical, the only thing that was critical, is we had to get the hockey right. And we got the hockey right. We had the best players in the world. They're playing in major league quality venues with major league quality facilities to train, to practice, with housing, with food, nutrition, all of the things elite athletes have always deserved. And this group of athletes never had. So we're extraordinarily proud to have a hand in that. Some of you may have heard already. We set our, I guess it was some kind of professional women's hockey record in Ottawa Tuesday night. We've already gone way past that tomorrow in Minnesota, in the state of hockey. And we're already over 10,000, which is, I think, significant because that's one for every lake, which is very fun. So if only we had more lakes there. But there's just been, like, for me, a rare, unique week, but so exciting, so thrilling. And yeah, I've been around a lot of cool events, but this week, watching 150 of the world's best women hockey players do something they never had a chance to do before has been thrilling. And it's emotional. It really has been great. One of our star players said to me a couple of days ago that for her, she used to have little girls come up to her and say, I'd like to be a professional hockey player when I grow up. Can I do that? And she said, I never could look them in the eye, truthfully say they could. And now I can. So with that, are there any questions or did I cover everything?
What are still, there are probably a myriad of them.
Yeah.
What are still the biggest challenges? You get through a great first week,
yeah.
couple
Well,
weeks.
first of all, we have to take the season to evaluate what we have, right? We know we got the hockey right, but are the cities right? Are the venues right? Things like that. We think they are, but give us some time. We'll study all that. We've had problems getting the merchandise up and running because it takes time to develop artwork and then to transform it into apparel and then to have apparel manufactured and shipped. It's coming. It's just not here yet, but it's coming. So that was what I call a secondary thing. Team names and logos. Yeah. That would have been nice. I will remind you, the most popular league in the world, the Premier League, has no nicknames for their teams. They're cities. And yet they seem to manage somehow. So we thought that was a secondary item, important, but still secondary to the hockey. And the quality of the hockey this week, any observer will tell you, has been beyond their expectations. The speed, you will see immediately, the speed on the ice and the hitting, the physicality is something we weren't expecting. And that is because that came from the players during training camp. We talked with the coaches, we talked with the referees and the head of referees, and they said they wanted the game called looser. They wanted more hitting, more physicality, nothing dangerous. We still don't do open ice checking, but there's contact, and there's contact into the boards and around the boards, and you'll notice that early because that has been consistent all week, and that was at the request of the players. Again, these are world-class athletes. They're the finest women's hockey players in the world. They know what they want to show the game off the best, and they're doing it.
Specifically to New York, what's the challenge that they face with venues in two different areas?
Our sweet spot, we thought, in our first season would be, a venue between 4,000 and 6,000, right? New York doesn't come that way, okay? Everything in New York is bigger. So it was difficult finding the right fit venue for us, especially since we didn't really start the search till August. Everything is booked before then. We got lucky. I had great friends and connections at at UBS, and the people here have been fantastic also. So we're going to make it work, and maybe this is the long-term solution. Don't know yet, but we obviously want to be in New York. If you're a league at all, you have to be in New York, and we are. But we're very proud of our other cities as well, and fans have really turned out. The fans in Toronto, the fans in Ottawa, and I'm sure the fans tomorrow in Minnesota will be the same.
So there's been a professional women's hockey team here in Connecticut for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
And, you're here now. I know you talked a lot about you want to be in big arenas and locations.
Yeah.
Are these 5, 6, 7 games you're going to play here in Bridgeport and your training camp in Stamford this year? Is it like a tryout for Connecticut?
I think everything is a tryout for us. And that's not specific to Connecticut. That is, let's see how we do. Let's see what we learn. I have said this all week. I'm going to learn from every ticket we sell and every ticket we don't sell. I'm going to be learning, how we get better, how we improve. We have an army of about 120 staffers, the most energized, enthusiastic people that you've ever met, who don't care about titles, who just pitch. Our head of business was just setting up the backdrop. That's the attitude we have. And I think it's because they all have the energy of being in on the ground floor of something that they believe is going to be a very tall skyscraper.
Can you give us some insights on how you pick the facilities? Like why Bridgeport?
We had people go to all of these places. Jeremy Langer on our staff, but Jana Hefford, who's our SVP of hockey, went to all of these venues and many, many more. And it wasn't just picking a venue out because we liked it. There was also availability issues and locker room issues and, things like that. So we had to put it all together. We got lucky that we could get into UBS, that we could get into Total Mortgage. So that was a break for us. That gave us a real presence in the New York metro area. And we're proud of that, happy about that. Is it the long-term answer? Don't know yet about any of our venues. Our best, oldest, most recognizable venue is Mattamy, which is Maple Leaf Gardens. The first thing everyone says is, Stan, it's too small. It's too small for your league. And I said, I hope we have a whole lot of stories like that this league needs bigger venues. That would be sweet.
Someone we don't hear from is Mark Walter. Have you had a chance to get feedback from him since the game started?
He's very happy. He's a busy guy doing really much bigger things, but he was the one who asked me to do this because, first of all, he asked me, could it get done? I told him, yeah, it can get done. It's going to be expensive in the early years to do it right, to not cut corners, to make it major league, which we think we have done for all our players in their venues, in their staffs, in their training staffs, and the equipment we get them. So we didn't cut corners there. So it's going to be expensive in the first couple of years. But he said, that's okay. We're doing something good. Let's do it.
Were there any moments in the lead up to game one where you sat back and said, we might have done this too quickly?
Yeah, every moment. Yeah, every moment was like that. Yes, I felt that way every day, all day. But we had a deadline. And so we knew we were going to. This was important to the players. And I had the most unique experience in collective bargaining with the players. I've done many of these. We settled on 24 games in the first year. I said to them, okay, look, we can get it. I can try to get us, up on the ice this year, but it'd be better if we waited a year. No, we can't. We've been out. We need to play. We have to play. If you want to make an agreement with us, we have to play right away. So I said, okay, let's push it to January. Let's push it to 24 games, but maybe 18 is better. And they fought to get 24. They fought for 32 next year. I said, you understand, there's not extra pace. We don't care. We want the hockey. We want to play. The more games, the better. It's not about extra money. We want to play as many games as we can. That was a unique attitude from a union, in my experience.
Early on, you talked about neutral site games. Are TBD games likely to land?
We are going to have two that I know of that I can't announce yet, but they'll be in NHL cities, in NHL buildings.
It's jumping ahead, and maybe you guys haven't even decided. I know you had mentioned in a previous conference call, you said next year you'd start in November.
That is the plan.
Yeah. And is there a number in mind for games?
Yes, it has to be at least 30, no more than 32. I'm guessing it's 32.
No more than 32.
Yeah. My guy's in the back there who's reminding me that it can go as low as 30 if you want. But
that's in the CBA, right?
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, you know what else has been in the CBA? We built in formally collaboration. We get together routinely. We discuss everything. We discuss facilities. We discuss playing rules. We discuss schedule. It's as good a relationship as I've ever seen between labor and management. I think that is because we don't have a lot of agendas on the management side. There's one owner. There's one entity. We don't have different owners. We don't have different egos. We don't have different budgets between different teams. Trust me when I tell you those things lead to problems from time to time. We don't have to deal with those things. We just have to deal with our union. And I can tell you the interests of the union and the ownership of this league are aligned. And that's been really great. Been really great.
Can you speak to, and it's early on, I know you just at camp in Utica and now
Yeah.
the first week of the season, just how the players have embraced selling the game, selling the league, selling the
They
sport.
can't do enough. You know, they do the simple things like they do the autograph sessions in the stands after the game. That's easy, okay? But as I said, if we get the hockey right, the rest is blocking and tackling, to mix metaphors. We know how to block and tackle. We know how to market. This New York team, for instance, has been all over the city. Great photo ops. But it takes time. It takes time. I'm from here, so I'm biased, but it's among the greatest cities in the world, at least. And but with a lot of sports competition, right? I don't need to remind you how many pro sports teams there are here. But our players are out there. We rang the bell at Wall Street last Friday. We've been in Rockefeller Center. We've been in Times Square. We want to be New York's team. It may take us a while to get there, but that's the mission.
Playoff format? Did I miss an announcement on that, or is that still coming?
We're going to have 2 rounds of 5 games, and it'd be the 1 plays 4 and 2 plays 3. And given the travel, I have my preferences for, but you know, it's going to be based on record, and we go by the NHL tiebreakers. I actually asked that question, so that's how I know the answer to that one. Anything else? Nope. Awesome. If you ever need me, everyone has my number. Call me. Okay.